Hi there, my name is Janet Gershon Siegel, and I'm the Lonely Writer. This is serious social media help for the independent author, who is a person who does not yet have an agent. I am a master's degree candidate at Quinnipiac University, and this is my capstone project. Today I'm going to be talking about color theory, the color yellow, and particularly in reference to book covers. Color theory is essentially just the study of how we feel about certain colors, and they mean something when it comes to your cover. When we think of the color yellow, what do we think of? Well, a lot of us think of sunshine and optimism, but we might also be thinking of cowardice. When we think of lemons, it might be because we think they're delicious, but we also may feel that they're overly sour, or that when you think of a car being a lemon, it's certainly not a pleasant association. We may think of bananas, we may think of saffron, we may think of sunflowers, or other things. But color theory is more than just a laundry list of what is a particular color. It's also what a color reminds us of, what we feel when we see a color. So keep in mind, we use yellow, or rather amber, for caution signs and for the middle signal on traffic lights. So it's the in-between part. Amber alerts are used to tell the general public when a child is missing. We see it in daffodils and we see it in daisies, and it can feel a lot like springtime, in particular because daffodils, and also forsythia for that matter, in the Northeast in particular, are some of the first flowers that bloom. So there's a lot of yellow not too long after the spring thaw. In culture, we see it in taxis, but we also see it in on what Buddhist monks wear. It's the shade of ripened corn and melted butter. Very Midwest. A yellow dog Democrat is a hardcore Democrat. A lot of these associations come from sensationalcolor.com. Very interesting article about yellow. I suggest that you take a look if you're interested. Now, a little more about yellow in culture. A yellow alert in science fiction is an intermediate alert. It's not as bad as red, but it is still something to take note of. It's essentially telling the characters that they need to keep an eye out, but it's not hazardous yet. It's nothing really dangerous and scary yet. Now, for another point of view, it was also a racist slur against Asian immigrants, the term quote-unquote yellow peril. And Dartmouth University has a real interesting article on that if you're interested. For book covers, yellow is seen on the covers of many Amazon bestselling business books. It's also showing up on the covers of a lot of bestselling science fiction books. It tends to be seen on the cover of dummies books, for that matter. So you might be seeing it, not necessarily for bestsellers, but you'll be seeing it for a lot of these more basic how-tos. Because white is often used for titles or author names, there seems to be less of a use of yellow for book covers, because the yellow and the white, it doesn't quite work that well. It may be difficult for people to see. There may not be enough contrast. But you will see yellow showing up for best-selling children's books on Amazon. And since we also saw orange as being a big cover color for children's books on Amazon, I think that kind of makes sense. The two will essentially go together. And once again, this is Janet Gershon Siegel for Lonely Writer, because an independent writer never has to be alone. Thanks so much for listening.